And I'm Marlene Winters.
And welcome to the Bomb Diggity News,
the only news show that brings you nothing but the truth.
On today's show, our top stories include how the rise of Hitler started World War II, and also about the attacks at Pearl Harbor.
We will also be discussing one of the most atrocious things that has happened, the Holocaust, and also about the new role of American women during the war.
And finally, we'll talk about the USA culture during this time period. Now let's go with Janine Richardson, who will start us off with our first story.
I'm Janine Richardson, and I'm going to talk to you about how the war started. The rise of Hitler's power played a big factor of why World War II started. Germany and Italy's government was based on something called fascism. Fascism means that the importance of the nation is more important than that of an individual. It is much like communism, but the only difference is that under fascism, the people can own private property. But still, anyway you put it, the freedom of the people is taken away. Adolf Hitler started serving in World War I. He was angered by the result of the war, but especially by the peace treaty that was created at the end of the war. After this, in 1919, Hitler joined the Nazi Party. By joining this party, his ability of being a leader began to flourish. His charisma and super speaking abilities excited the crowd and made them want to listen more. When World War I ended, it left Germany's economy suffering. There was an immense amount of unemployment and there was a lot of inflation going around. During the 1930s, the people of Germany could not take it any longer. That is why it was easy for Adolf Hitler to earn power. He promised to bring the country back to normality, restore the economy, and to bring back the empire that was gone. By 1933, because of Hitler's promise, the Nazi Party became the biggest group in the Germany parliament. Soon after, he suspended civil liberty and persuaded the parliament to give him dictatorial powers. Hitler wanted to see Germany become a dominant position in the world and also wanted to expand so he could spread German pride. That is why on March 9, 1936, German troops invaded Rhineland, which by doing this, they had violated the Treaty of Versailles. Also in 1936, the axes of power were created. The countries that made the axes of power are Italy, Germany, and later Japan joins. After Hitler had a big success in Rhineland, he decided to invade neighbor nations and take the control of them. These nations include most of the Western Europe like Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Austria. On June 14th, Germany invaded Paris. A couple of days later, France gave up and surrendered. Now Great Britain stood alone to represent the Allies, but later the Soviet Union and the United States become part of the Allies. In the beginning of the United States decided to stay neutral until Pearl Harbor happened. To talk to you more about this, here comes Ben Dover.
Hi, I'm Ben Dover. Right after Germany took over France, Japan requested control of French colonies in Indochina. By 1941, Japanese vanguards took over that region. And after that, Roosevelt decided to freeze Japan's financial ties with the United States and foreign contact as well. USA ambassadors in Tokyo urged the president to make some kind of compromise because if he doesn't, it will result in war, but others advised President Roosevelt to not give in. The American government had discovered secret Japanese codes and they had been receiving messages, and because this, they knew that Japan was preparing to snatch more territory. On November 25th, America found out that a Japanese naval force was approaching Southeast Asia. The United States ordered them to pull out from all the conquered land and from the pact that they joined along with Italy and Germany. But Japan was stubborn and did not listen. Instead, they sent 6 more aircraft carriers and 20 more ships. Japan also decided that the American naval forces located in Hawaii had to be destroyed before they could achieve what they wanted in Asia. On December 7th at 7 a.m., the American Army found out that planes were coming towards them on the island of Oahu. The officer on duty made the mistake of thinking that those planes coming towards them were American planes, when they were really Japanese aircraft ready to attack. An hour later, Japanese planes started to bomb and attack with machine gun fire all of the naval bases and airfields. Because of that terrible mistake, in less than 2 hours, America had lost about 2,400 lives, 300 warplanes, and 18 warships. All that Japan lost was 29 planes. But they didn't achieve in destroying the 3 aircraft carriers that were part of the American Navy. This attack at Pearl Harbor will never be forgotten. Like the American people say, this day will live in infamy. The day right after Roosevelt didn't hesitate to declare war on Japan. And as a result of this, Germany and Italy declared war on the USA. And the United States joins the Allies, and for a second time in this nation's history, America gets involved in a world war. Now let's head back with Sandra and Marlene.
Thanks, Bendover, for that interesting story, but now it's time to take a break.
But when we come back, Marlene will be sharing with us some interesting facts about American history, so don't change the channel.
Wait, hold on, I'm tired. Wait. Oh my god, I'm so thirsty. I need something refreshing to drink. Gee, what is this?
It's Coca-Cola, 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 Coca-Cola.
Ah, refreshing.
Buy your Coca-Cola today and help our troops overseas. Don't delay. Help them win the war by satisfying their thirst.
Ah, delicious. Welcome back to the Bomb Diggity News. Now let's go with Marlene, who's eager to talk to us about the American culture.
Hi, I'm Marlene Winters. Back in the day, many U.S. citizens and foreigners didn't have the knowledge to read and write in English. Thanks to many new educational programs in schools, Robert de Graaf founded the Pocket Books Company in 1939. The purpose that Graaf achieved was to make small books that are easy to carry, available, and less expensive. He believed more people would read books if they followed his goals. He published paperbacks of recent bestsellers at only 25 cents. Within 2 months, Graaf sold 34,000 copies of their first book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Soldiers carried around these small books during combat and when they got home. Books were spreading like wildfire during the 1940s. In addition, during this time, 60% of the U.S. went to watch a movie every week. Hollywood was making movies for soldiers and civilians all around. A famous director, Frank Capra, made a series of war films called Why We Fight. War movies consisted of romances, adventures, and comedy, making people escape shortly from reality. Another famous creation of the time was Casablanca, targeting patriotism and confidence in Allied victories. Baseball was a grand sport in this time. During the war, around 4,000 of the 5,700 major and minor league baseball players went off to war. As a substitute for baseball was women's softball. Philip Wrigley founded All-American Girls Softball League in 1943, later known as the All-American Girls Baseball League in 1945. Ladies had to attend charm school and wore skirted uniforms. The game had hundreds of fans. Music encouraged hope and patriotism in people. Praise the Lord and Pass the Ammunition by Frank Loesser was based on stories about a Navy chaplain took control of an anti-aircraft gun in Pearl Harbor. In 1942, There's a Star-Spangled Banner Waving Somewhere was a best-selling record in 1942. People who missed their loved ones that were out in the war listened to songs like I'll Be Seeing You and You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To. White Christmas by Irving Berlin became a favorite for everybody in the 1940s, has and is still heard today. Now we are going offset with Janine to meet some women baseball players.